How's it going, guys? It's me, Captain Domotaku, here today to cover episode 10 of Haifuri. Now, after two ship battles with two different ships, I thought that they were gonna go and fight another ship, and I was like, you know what, that's kind of too much. They suffered so much damages from the episode 8 ship, the Hiei, I believe, and then the Spey, and they didn't get repairs at the end of the episode, but then in the beginning of the episode they do get repairs. So I was like, okay, they're not fighting. And then it just turns out to be, well, so for one, this is what I quote-unquote call the filler episode, and yes, we all know what filler episodes are, but this technically is the filler episode because you had two consecutive battles in the previous episodes 7 through 8, and then now the ship is repairing, but they add in this little Equator festival thing going on in the ship. And for one, I think this episode was pretty funny and entertaining as well. So I might make a comparison for one to Netoge. If you guys seen that video or series, episode 9's of Netoge, where it is something of a filler episode, but it is kind of different from this. For one, episode 9 of Netoge was a sleepover, and then this one is just a full-on festival. And like, I gotta say, this episode was entertaining and hilarious, and you guys have to agree with me on that. For one, so you have this little Equator festival when they cross the equator, and they had to like do some sort of tradition to like celebrate and have a festival, like to pass through and whatnot. And I thought, I was like, oh, that's pretty neat and stuff. And then, you know, they're all setting this sort of thing, right? This festival on the ship. And I'm surprised that they have these materials and these things to do these things on the ship. Like, they create like freaking like lights and like things, and oh my goodness, I cannot believe that happened. I am disappointed in myself. So anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, they have all these things, so they create a bunch of like props and whatnot and food stands, and I'm just like, what the hell? They have so much stuff on this ship. And you know, there was a little bit of slice of life drama-ish sort of thing here going on, where one of the chief engineers, I believe, is put in charge of this Equator Festival. So she's trying to run it, and she's trying to have a fun time enjoying this with all the crewmates, but all the crewmates are really lazy and don't think of it like putting any time into any of this when she was trying so seriously. And then it comes to a lot of conflict with the one girl, I don't know their names, this is the hard part. So the one of the girls in the engine room as well, the long brown haired girl, who sort of dislikes Captain Akemi but really likes Mashiro, the co-captain. So yeah, we have this little like relationship thing with them where they're childhood friends and they sort of know each other. And then eventually, after seeing that how like the chief engineer was trying so seriously to have this festival and have fun with everyone else, and you know, make a great time for everyone is like, oh shoot, we didn't really take it seriously. And then they start actually taking it seriously, and they build a lot of shit, and they have a hilarious and great time. So the hilarious and great time that I am referring to is when all the girls go into the kitchen or their classroom, and they just do a whole bunch of performances, because I gotta admit, it was the funniest things I've ever seen ever. So I know they do like some kind of comedian acts and whatnot, and then they do like some canon impersonations, and that's all cool and all, but then like it's okay. For one, it's entertaining because, you know, like, what the freak are these girls supposed to do when they're in the middle of the sea? What do they do for entertainment? So they do these sort of things, and you know, you actually find it hilarious because they're limited to only do like whatever they can do, what kind of jokes and props they can make. And I found them hilarious. The funniest thing ever in this episode was the rapping, because I don't give a crap if they sounded bad or it just sounded weird, but the rapping was freaking awesome and hilarious, because they're making some kind of rap, like making jokes like, oh, we're navigating, and then what kind of wrong course did you do? And then they just make jokes like, oh, so what did you do? What kind of mistakes have you made before? It's like, oh, you know, like I made a left turn, I'm supposed to go right turn or something like that, or I gained weight on the ship, or I forgot to record my TV drama. That was hilarious, and the rap was so cool, and I was like, the beats, I was like, yes, I can dig this. And then the last rap part when they asked this one, the cook, I believe, but he's like, oh, what kind of wrong course have you done? And I was like, oh, I got confessed to a guy and I never gave him an answer. I escaped on the ship. And that was hilarious. It was like, whoa, too much information. And then they try to like resolve it. Like, she tries to call him, it's like, oh, I want to give you my answer, but no, he's in love with someone else. And then they like the rap ends. That was the most hilarious thing ever. And then you have the bridge who do like a play, like a freaking mafia gangster play. I swear it's Coco all over again. And she has to do this because Mina left and she became really good friends with Mashiro, the co-captain. So they do a play with a freaking mafia thing where she blocks an attack for the boss and it's like, oh, you got feel my legacy or something like that. It's really cheesy, but it's freaking entertaining. And then they have some sumo wrestling where like the one girl beats the crap out of everyone, even the captain. And then you have the 12-year-old loli doc. The doc comes up and she said that she's 12 years old and that she skipped like freaking grades to universities at the age of 12. I don't know if I forgot that she's this young. I just assumed that she's like sort of the oldest one there, but then in the small body. But no, she's freaking 12 and she's on the ship and she skipped freaking grades to do that stuff. So she comes up and then she wants to sing a song and that's how the episode ends. So yes, that's about it. Like they have so many things that happen in this episode and they're hilariously entertaining as hell. So why do I keep thinking I'm gonna keep comparing this to episode 9 of Netoge for one, because you know in Netoge, I don't know why, it's just that they had this sleepover and then like they sort of, you know, they have the generic like they take a bath together, they sleep in the same bed together. They didn't do much, and I mean like not that saying that Netoge episode 9 was boring, but then I find this episode more entertaining as a filler episode just because they did many ridiculously funny things and it's just random, but I don't give a crap because it's a filler and then they can do that. So one of the things I also enjoy about this episode is because Haifuri is a unique series because for one, we have a whole crew and cast of people that I don't know about. No, seriously, I don't. If you guys can remember every single person's name or like wherever they work on the ship, like these girls, like there's like what 30 plus of them to maintain a ship. If you can remember all their names or which part of the ship they are on, then congratulations, because I can't. There's so many of them and I can only remember the main ones like the bridge, the engine room, the kitchen, and that's about it. And the girl who does the seeing on the top of the thing, that's about it. And this play that they do, or this festival they do, gives a chance for everyone to sort of show off and like sort of introduce themselves, like, oh, we got the people from the engine room, or we got the people from the torpedo room, we got these people, and then, you know, it's like, oh, they do their thing and it's entertaining because you're like, oh, so these people are like this and they just do this, and you know, even though I don't know their freaking names, they seem hilarious and you know, they actually fit in with this part, and you know, it makes the ship once again feel like a big old family because you're not just stuck with memorizing the names of the people on the bridge like the captain and the co-captain, but you actually get to see everyone in the ship, and you know, it's really entertaining. Like these girls right here, I don't know any of their names. No, you guys can tell me their names, then tell me in the comment section below, and don't look at my anime list, but tell me these girls' names. But then yes, these girls were the freaking rappers and they were hilarious. I love their freaking rap and their dancing and just like, oh, what have you done or whatever, right? It's hilarious. And then you have the girls at the engine room who we have sort of a bigger more relations to because we saw the chief engineer is in charge of the festival. And yeah, like this episode got us sort of, you know, if they did this episode first or second later in the early beginning of the show and they introduced every single people like in the ship and the crew, then I might have actually remembered their names, or if they took time to like, you know, introduce them or like say their names and whatnot, like yeah, maybe I could have memorized these girls' names, but I didn't. But even so, this episode made me feel like that everyone in the ship is really relevant still, even though I don't know their names. And I know in episode 1 or 2, for a brief moment, like the captain Akemi goes up to everyone and is like, oh, your name is this, and it's like, oh, how is the status in this place, right? And familiarizing herself with the crew. They don't do that here. They just like, oh, here's the people from this part of the ship doing this skit, but I still enjoyed it. So, oh man, my throat hurts right now because I'm crying in the inside, guys. I would love to see this episode again in the future just because of how hilarious it was. So anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Like the video if you enjoy these cute girls and their freaking what have you done wrong navigation course rapping thing. So what have you guys done in your course that is wrong or whatnot, or what kind of wrong course have you guys taken as Captain Domotaku commands you to orders or to whatever. So anyways guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the finale review episode for Haifuri, episodes 10 through 11. I'm going to be doing that in one video together because they were technically part 1 and 2. So anyways guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next mission on the Don't Otaku Anime channel. So take care guys, and matane.